The latest Pompey news, updates every day from the Pompey Sound news desk.
Breaking news. According to reports,
Pompey look set to land Paraguayan winger Gustavo Caballero on loan from Brazilian club Santos. The 24-year-old's arrival at Fratton Park would make him the fifth signing of the transfer window, and reports from Paraguay suggest the deal includes an option to make the move permanent. The timing is crucial, with Callum Lang finalising his own move to Preston North End, and John MOUSINHO desperate to bolster his injury-hit attacking options. Caballero, a Paraguay under-23 international, joined Santos from Club Nacional in a $1.6 million deal back in July 2023, and his form since has clearly caught Pompey's eye. While he can play as a striker, it's not yet clear exactly how the Blues plan to use him, should the deal go through. MOUSINHO has been open about needing a new centre-forward, particularly with Colby Bishop finding the net just twice so far this season. That need became even more urgent after Saturday's 3-0 win over West Brom, which saw Bishop forced off late in the game and leave the ground wearing a precautionary boot on his left foot. Lang, who is still recovering from a hamstring injury, missed that weekend's victory, a win that lifted the Blues 4 points clear of the relegation zone. Improving Portsmouth stretched their unbeaten run to 4 games, as Connor Chaplin's opener teed up an emphatic victory against woeful fellow championship strugglers West Bromwich Albion. Chaplin swept home his first goal in 24 games since returning to the club on loan this season from Milenik Ali's smart pullback from the left. Ali also netted his first Pompey goal of the season and for the club, when he slid the ball through keeper Max O'Leary's legs from Andre Dizel's pass for a 2-0 interval lead. The Baggies played like a side resigned to a 5th defeat in 6, lacking confidence, intensity and any goal threat, with just one lame off-target attempt in the first half. Portsmouth had no trouble completing the job, in front of an increasingly relaxed Fratton Park crowd, with Ebu Adams also on target as they moved up to 20th, 4 points clear of the relegation zone. They leapfrogged the Baggies, who slipped to 21st, just 3 points above the bottom 3, having played a game more than all of the sides below them. But as much as the hosts impressed in a busy performance, full of pace, movement and intent, West Brom were abysmal, showing just why they had lost 10 in a row away from home before last week's last-gasp draw against Derby County. Chaplin could have made it 1-0 inside 2 minutes with a flicked effort that went wide at the near post, and he also went close with a drilled strike across goal before calmly slotting Pompey ahead from Ali's measured pass. Ali's equally cool one-on-one finish rewarded continued attacking purpose and pressure, while Terry Devlin and Adrian Segacic also had chances to add to the advantage. Adams did increase the advantage within 4 minutes of the restart, firing home from Chaplin's cushioned volley to as good as seal victory, and further demoralise a West Brom side who have now already lost 12 matches away from home this term. Mikey Johnston did manage an attempt on target for the Baggies, their only one of the game, when his curling long-range strike was well tipped over by Pompey keeper Nicholas Schmid. But Portsmouth remained in full control, and could have easily added to their lead, with the only blemish an ankle injury suffered by Colby Bishop in the second half.
Yeah, first of all, really good, really important result. That was the most important thing going into the afternoon, was making sure we got the result. The second most important thing was the performance, which we definitely got. It was a very impressive performance, particularly in the first half. And I think the third thing was scoring 3 goals, which is the first time I think we've done it this season. The first time we've won by more than a goal. I do think it's been coming, but we just haven't put everything together yet. And today I thought we did. Yeah, we've had similar halves. I thought we had very similar to what we did against QPR just after Christmas, I think, on Boxing Day, but we just didn't put the ball A, in the back of the net, or B, into good enough areas like we did today. But we were really relentless, I thought, in the first half in terms of creating chances and putting the ball in good areas, making sure we dominated battles and came out on top of that. And we just had a huge amount of energy, matched everything West Brom threw at us, and it was a very nice start to the second half as well. I don't think we've been too far off. We did it here against Arsenal, when a goal up. I thought we had a very good start against Southampton as well last week. But for whatever reason, we just haven't quite been able to capitalise on those, and thankfully today we did. We capitalised on it by going 2-0 up at half-time. I felt before the half we needed a third, probably to reflect our dominance, but also just to ease the nerves, and we didn't get it, and it was one of those games at half-time where a goal changes it either way. Thankfully that was for us early on, and we could breathe a bit after that.
And for you?
The first goal, Chapper's scoring, was a great moment, but he's probably been in that position quite a few times, but we haven't been able to find him. The second was excellent, amazing ball from Doz, and the third was just about that sort of energy and desire to go and win the ball and then put it in the back of the net. Hopefully he clicks into gear on the goal scoring front. I think his performance has been excellent. He plays pretty much every minute of every game for us. He's been brilliant to have around the place day in, day out, and the only thing that's been missing really from his game has been the output that we saw when he was in the league 18 months ago and was probably the best player at the level. So just really pleasing that he's got that goal. I think he could have had a couple more today, but hopefully that kickstarts his goal scoring run this season. Well, I think if you start with Ibu, he's just, in my opinion, sort of epitomises what we want from Portsmouth players, and we were very, very sure on that when he came in, that regardless of anything he does, he always gives us energy, always gives you that competitive edge, and I think that's helped. It's helped that we've obviously last week helped to sort of write his name into folklore, but his performances around that have been very good as well. And Millie, the way that we want to play here with wingers that get at full-backs, again, really suits, I think, what we want to try and achieve here at the football club. It's something that I've wanted to do from the first sort of second we set foot in the club. We had it last year with Murph. Unfortunately, we haven't seen a huge amount of Murph this year, and just having Millie to come in and do as well as he's done has been brilliant.
Ibu Adams had already endeared himself to the Fratton faithful even before scoring in the South Coast derby. And he continues to look an astute January signing for Pompey after capping another impressive display with his second goal in as many games. The midfielder wrapped up a comfortable 3-0 victory over West Brom at Fratton Park, following earlier strikes from Connor Chaplin and Milenik Ali. It was a dominant display from the hosts, and Adams now wants the Blues to produce more confident showings. He said, "It's a massive win for us, and the first thing that we need to remember is that we're a good team. A performance like that is very much overdue, and if we keep playing that way, then I think we're going to be okay. It's a massive win for us, and the first thing that we need to remember is that we're a good team. We didn't show any fear, and it just shows that we can mix things up and have plenty of confidence, which is a massive thing in this game. You could see it in the first half, while after the break it was just about making sure they didn't get one back. I enjoyed myself out there, and I'm sure the rest of the boys felt the same, but the big question is whether we can do that continuously." Adams struck early in the second half, after being teed up by Connor Chaplin, with a finish that hit keeper Max O'Leary and looped into the net. He said, "The gaffer here has given me a role where I can get myself in the box and try to get goals. That's the license I have. I class myself as a box-to-box player. That's 2 in 2 for me since I signed here, and hopefully I can carry that on."
Santos, it's Mick, with a few minutes of thought about the sound and fury surrounding Callum Lang. The Lang transfer is contentious. There is a lot of disappointment, which is understandable. He's been a likeable, successful signing. He scored goals, had a trademark celebration, engaged with the fans, brought a Scouse sense of humour to the South Coast. Everything you want from a good recruit. But Callum Lang's heart and family were in the northwest. It is possible, indeed likely, he simply wanted to go home. And it is also possible he could have gone there for little or nothing when his contract winds down in 6 months. Also, there is no doubt Pompey were getting diminishing returns on the park from Callum. His body was betraying him. That's not to say, of course, that he can't fully recover and have a long and successful run of games at Preston North End, but that hasn't happened with us. The third factor of determination is that Pompey are growing his successor in Andrei Segacic, who's developing well and seeks to replace him, not unnaturally. So the reasons for his transfer are textured and debatable, and some people get too angry too quickly. I don't believe for one moment the people at Pompey, any of them, wanted this. Why would they want to lose a proven, popular goal scorer, and at this time in a difficult season? I can only see the timing as a result of pressure from, and maybe promises to, the player. And the fact is, Sounders, you can't and shouldn't keep a reluctant footballer.